Okay, I'm back. It's now time to move on to our next topic, and that is money. I know, we don't like to think about money at the holidays. We just want to think about fun and parties and presents and, well, all that stuff takes money. Why do we need to talk about it? Because chances are you are oblivious to what you spent last year and where your money went and where's it going to go this year. So let me ask you, did you have a budget last Christmas? Do you have one this Christmas? And, bigger question, did you stick to it? Chances are you didn't. And chances are, even if you have a budget this year, by December 1st, that's going to be history. Why? Because you're playing a game with commercialization of the holiday. That game starts off with the earlier you start to spend, the more you're going to spend. Now, we're fed some little illusions, and those illusions are sale, 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 Black Friday, you're going to get such a deal. Well, even if you get a good deal, even if that costs you precious time you could have spent resting, decorating your house, being with your family, snoozing on the couch, whatever, you invest not only the money but the time, but if you start early, you're going to keep on spending until Christmas Day. Why? Because that's what we tend to do. It's like there's this slow leak. See, if it were all at once, if all of a sudden you got this Christmas bill prior to spending the money, you go, whoa, whoa, I'm not going to spend that kind of money. But what happens is it's just $1 here, it's just $10 there, but it's so cute. So-and-so is going to love it. Not a good idea. See, part of the issue is that we are being led to believe that spending money will provide us the wonderful, happy, peaceful, meaningful experience that we want for Christmas. That it will provide us with the love that we want to get. Don't we just think about that? Don't we think about when we give our kids gifts, our parents, our loved ones, our husbands, our wives, even our friends, we give them a gift, and what do we look for? We look for that, oh, I love it. There's been times that hasn't happened, and that didn't feel very good. But that's the thing. We're really not exchanging a gift. We're exchanging love. This is a very dysfunctional behavior that the 12-step community calls putting personality before principle. We are shopping and overspending based on our emotions rather than the balanced intelligence and logic of what would be a right amount to spend. And is there another way to generate that feeling of love and respect without having to spend, that much money? It's just that we have to learn when we start getting emotionally involved to take a breath, to stop before we spend. If you go online, if you do shopping online, put the items into your cart, but then don't purchase them for a couple days. Purchase them a couple days later. In the end, you are going to save more. You may miss a sale, but all that means is if you get this sale, you're going to spend the money you saved someplace else. So let's get, real clear about that. There is a Pied Piper that runs through our Christmas, and the Pied Piper lures away our loved ones, and primarily because we love to have children enjoy Christmas, primarily the Pied Piper lures our children away. I saw a commercial the other day for a toy store who I shan't mention, but what they were saying is, oh yes, we have it. This is the kids' most wanted toy. This is the not addressing a desire of our children. They were creating a false need. If you find your kids asking for a particular present, see if you ask them, well, why? Why did you want that? Where did you hear about that? I never heard about that. And you're going to find that it is that little Pied Piper of merchandising, advertising that is dancing through our kids' lives and taking that away. You know, there's something I call the slander of St. Nicholas. The slander of St. Nicholas is taking a good man who was a real man, and I do not doubt until this very day, including this day and forever, is a divine spirit, St. Nicholas. And St. Nicholas had a good heart and wanted to help poor children. One of the legends of St. Nicholas said that there was a man who had 3 daughters and they couldn't get married because he had no dowry, and that St. Nicholas put the money in their stockings, which were drying by the fire. They did not hang those stockings up there to have some guy come and stuff them full of stuff. They had their stockings hanging on the hearth to dry by the fire, and they received the gift. Well, Santa Claus has been so slandered and scandalized right now that instead of saying, well, oh, I would love to have this or this for Christmas, well, how wonderful, maybe Santa will bring you this or that, the list is like 88 long. And the kids expect to get every toy on the list. I would like to reiterate what I said before. It's not your birthday. And let's talk about whose birthday it is. Ta-da! Jesus. How many gifts did Jesus get for his birthday? 3. Gold, frankincense, and myrrh. They might not seem too interesting to our children, but each one of them had a spiritual meaning. Is 3 gifts enough for your children? It should be. You know, Charles Fillmore, co-founder of Unity, he and his family had a rule. And that rule about Christmas gifts was no gifts, no exceptions. I know it sounds harsh, but I don't think the Fillmore's Christmas experience really suffered from it. Why? The expectation was that there would not be gifts. There would be worship, there would be candles, there would be food, there would be visiting, there would be a grand time, there would be parties. But there would be no gifts, no exceptions. I'm not telling that you've got to go no gifts, no exceptions. I am suggesting that you consider the possibility that you cut off those commercials and the false beliefs that you need to buy everything under the sun or your kids aren't going to be happy. It's time for our next exercise, so while I move the birthday boy over, I invite you to get your pencil and paper in case you wish to make notes. Okay, this is about money and finances. And it says, can you figure out the amount you spent? And I'm going to invite you to follow along in this exercise by writing down how much you think you spent in this particular area last year. How much did you spend buying gifts? Oh, you know what? I'm going to bring you up closer so that you can take a look at the list for yourself. Even if you want to push pause and make notes from that. There you go. Okay, buying gifts. Craft supplies. Gift wrapping expenses. Mailing gifts. Higher phone bills. That's not as much an issue today with cell phones where things are less. Extra dry cleaning, carpet cleaning, and professional expenses if you got company coming. Higher food bills. Travel expenses. Loss of paid work hours if you take extra time off. Extra linens, etc. for company. Higher entertainment costs. After all, it is Christmas. Tree and other greenery. Candles. Convenience and fast food because we're too busy to cook and don't have the energy anyway. Christmas cards. Stamps for those Christmas cards. Liquor. Everybody likes to have a little wine or a little people spend money on flowers for the holidays. New holiday clothes. Everybody loves to have a special outfit for Christmas. Let's not forget tipping. We want to remember the people that have done good things for us. How about impulse? Impulse, impulse, impulse. That one's going to get us every time. We have to remember not to let the impulse buying get us. If you keep a chart of what you're spending, you may be able to avoid that. Donations to charity. Charities are in need also at this time, and we don't want to cut them out, especially if we're giving to greedy lists for beyond what someone really needs. What else? Okay, go back over this, hit pause, make notes of how much you estimated that you spent. Check your old tax form if you have to, and ask yourself, how much did I spend? Was I over budget? And did I stress out about it? Am I stressing now? So go ahead and do this exercise, and I'll talk to you later.